Hey, welcome back. It's me again, and I'm back with another video. And I tried recording this, and it didn't work. Excuse me, so I'm gonna try it again if I don't cough. Um, First of all, I just wanted to tell everyone thank you very much for all the stuff for all the inboxes and all the people that are reaching out to me and saying, hey, it's gonna be okay, all this stuff is good. That's a good feeling. Because I don't know, when I recorded that video, I felt very, not lost. um I felt very, I just felt down. I kind of had a realization that I didn't have anyone here, where I live. Most of my family is back home, and my friend, some of my friends are like spread out all over the U.S. And it kind of sucks, not having anyone here. But I do what I can, But I really want to say thank you so much to everyone who reached out to me and said, hey, gave me encouraging words and kind words, and said, hey, it's gonna be okay, all this stuff. You guys rock, and you guys are fucking awesome. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. And I wanted to kind of elaborate on that last video, because I've been thinking a lot, which is part of the reason why I haven't made a video yet. But I wanted to kind of elaborate on that, because I saw the comments, and a lot of people, and of course, I think they're correct, but a lot of the comments were saying, I'm pretty sure part of the reason why it's like that is because it has to do with insecurities. And you're absolutely right. My insecurities stem far back, far back to when I was a kid. Um, so like to so basically, I'm gonna give you the long version, but short term as of right now, it's always been difficult for me to make friends. It's always been hard for me to make friends. And the reason why it's always been hard for me to make friends was because I've always had this mental block up here. I've always felt as though I've always had these feelings of not being good enough, or not feeling good enough to be able to even speak with people. You know what I mean? Just to even be able to speak with people, let alone like, either being in a relationship or something, I've never I've never felt good enough for a lot of different things. No matter how many times people will say it, I've never felt good enough to be able to do things, or to feel like I can do things. So take for example, so when I was a kid, and even now, but like, let's say in the context of now, I I don't see myself as an attractive guy. I see myself as an okay guy who kind of has a good personality, and who kind of, can get by. But as far as like looks go, I don't think I'm that attractive. I've never felt attractive at all. I mean, there have only been like two instances where I've ever felt attractive. And that's just, honestly, that's just how it is. But I don't feel attractive. I don't feel like I'm an attractive guy. I'm an okay looking guy, but I don't feel attractive. And I've never, for the most part of my life, I've never felt attractive. And so when I have these insecurities, just first of all, for attraction, second of all, I'm kind of awkward around people. And I've always been awkward around people. So it's like, so you have the lack of self-esteem, which I fucking don't have at all. No self-esteem. I don't look good in my head, right? So I have all this shit. And when you're trying to meet people, first impression is always everything. And I hate saying that, but it's true. It's always going to be true. First impression is everything. So if I were to get to someone and kind of just be like, kind of shy and not really say anything, I'm not gonna keep friends. I'm not gonna make any friends anyway, because then they're gonna be like, who is this boring ass dude? No one wants to hang out with him. And that makes sense, because I mean, would you want to? Just, I guess, depends. But I have all these insecurities that hold me back from stuff, which is part of the reason why it's so hard for me to make friends. It's hard for me to make friends because I'm awkward around people, and it's hard for me to talk to them. If you've listened to my videos, if you watch my videos enough, you know that I'm not the clearest person at explaining what I want to say. I will say things that, this is not a plug for McDonald's, but I'm just drinking their water. It is hard for me sometimes to convey what I want to convey because of my mind. The way that my brain works is that it's constantly going. And like even now, it's like I'm having to process the words that I want to say. And sometimes I don't come out and say the things the way that I should say them. So like if you notice in my videos, you see me, I don't clearly explain what I'm trying to say, which is not good for communications at all. But I don't clearly explain what I'm trying to say. And so when you're trying to meet someone, let's say you're trying to meet someone for like a first impression, first time thing, and you say something completely out of left field, probably because I'm nervous, and I would say something completely out of left field, and I'm just like, I did not mean to say that, and then that's just, that's it. And that's really, I just, and then, on top of feeling fucking social anxiety from talking to people, I feel like I'm just not good enough to talk to anyone. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm not good enough to be this guy who can keep people. And, that's something that I'll work on for sure. But I feel like I feel stuck sometimes. I feel stuck up here. And I feel like no matter how many times I try to talk, it's like I feel like my feelings about myself aren't really improving. I mean, they're improving slowly, but I don't want to hit when I'm 40 to feel great about myself. You know what I mean? And so that's why I was saying, like, part of the reason why I was saying in the last video was like, I want gay friends. A lot of people kind of took that as like, you should just want people regardless, and I say that because I feel sometimes I will feel comfortable. Like, contrary to what you might think, I do say a lot of shit that makes it seem like I don't vibe with the gay community. And there are some issues when I just don't, there are some things that I don't vibe with the gay community about, but for the most part, the gay community is cool. Like, there are some things I don't vibe about with the black community, but I mean, I'm still black and I'm still proud of being black, just like I'm still proud of being gay. You know what I mean? So there are some things that I don't vibe with the gay community about, but at the end of the day, it's good to have that support from each other. We need that support. All of us, all minorities, doesn't matter, need that support. That's a whole nother video, but all of us need that support. And so that's part of the reason why I was emphasizing on having gay friends so much, is that not only would I feel more comfortable having gay friends, because we kind of go through the same shit, you know what I mean? Not only would I feel more comfortable, I would feel kind of more at peace or more at home. And same goes for black people too, like in anyone. I just, a lot of it has to do with me blocking the people out, which is part of the reason why I don't have friends, because I'm just weird. I push for some reason, and I think I know why, but I tend to push people away when they get too close, because I do that a lot of times because I don't want to get hurt. And I think that's like the general rule of thumb answer when people do that. I don't want to get hurt. And when I say I don't want to get hurt, it's like, so, from what I've been told, most people would say that I'm attractive. Like I said, I look in the mirror and I see this okay looking dude who kind of doesn't have anything to offer, but whatever. So, I'm this okay dude, but you have these people who come up to me and, they'll see this, they'll see the face, they'll see, they'll see my outside, and, then they'll want to get to know me. But when they see how much of a fucking nerd I am, how excited I am for fucking Final Fantasy VII Remake and Panzer Dragoon Saga, which nobody fucking even knows about on Sega Saturn, or like how big of a nerd I am about going to the gym and lifting shit. You know what I mean? Like when they see how much of a nerd I am, they usually leave me alone. And I get that, that's not everyone's prerogative. That's not what everyone really wants to do or to know. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like people, they'll see it and they kind of just like, whatever, you know what I mean? Then they leave. They'll get to know me from this, and then they'll leave because of how fucking weird I am. And I'm okay with my weirdness. I fucking love how weird I am. I have to laugh because I've just thought of a million scenarios that I did that just threw people off. But at the same time, I think it keeps the people who wouldn't get me away. And I appreciate that, because some people don't want to waste your time. But at the same time, it's like, we're all people. Can't we just like get along and talk to each other, and get to understand each other, That's a lot of the reason why I just try to push people away. Because really, I don't want to get hurt, and it sounds selfish, but it's like, I don't want to waste my time if someone doesn't really want to get to know. The thing is, I want long-lasting friendships. And I feel like friendships nowadays, like in the social media era, are very cut and dry. Just relationships in general are very cut and dry. And they're very like in your life for a minute and then out. My goal this year is to really try to make friends, and by friends I mean lifelong friends, for the people who I can, 10 years from now I can talk to them and, nothing's changed. I really want to have that. And so my goal this year is to break out of my awkward little fucking shell and talk to these people and be like, hey, we should be friends. And that's the goal. Whether it happens, I don't know. but I wanted to elaborate on that because I know a lot of things that I was saying, like after, in hindsight, when watching the video again, just didn't really make sense. But I don't edit stuff because I want you to hear it raw. I want you to hear it from me, So I don't really edit stuff. So I have to go back and actually watch it and be like, wow, that doesn't make any sense at all. But I wanted to elaborate on that because I want you guys to know how when someone who's socially awkward and who doesn't really believe and trust in themselves the way they should, it makes it harder to make friends with anyone. So I just wanted to elaborate on that. If you guys have anything, comment down below. That'd be awesome. Tell me your experiences or something, anything that's relatable would be awesome. That would make me, feel good. And, again, I really appreciate everyone leaving those comments. Even the critical ones, comments are comments, Thank you very much. I really appreciate you, really being there. Really saying, hey, it's going to be all right. Before you get a therapist, look at this stuff, giving me all these resources. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. You have no idea how good that makes me feel. So write your comments down below. Let me know what you think. And if you have any struggles making friends too, how did you come across, how did you go about getting over it? I could definitely use the tips. So leave a comment down below. Guys, you're awesome. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you later. Peace.